Hi guys, in this session we'll be dealing with the first chapter under development in from the subject Indian economy. A detailed study of Indian economics has great importance to the students of economics in India because of its objectives, namely analysis of the facts and causes of India's poverty and providing a workable solution to remove the poverty, and thereby we can attain a rapid and planned economic development. So, the objectives would require a careful study of the many aspects of the Indian economy and the multifarious problems of development with which we would be concerned in this session. The second half of the 20th century was a period of mass awakening politically and economically in all countries. There had been growing interest in economic development on the part of welfare states. Writers on economic development of nations generally classify the countries of the world into two categories, namely developed countries and underdeveloped countries, which is otherwise called as backward economies or developing countries or third world countries. Now let's discuss important two definitions. First one is given by the UN experts. The UN experts has defined it as one in which the per capita real income is low when compared with the per capita real incomes of USA, Canada, Australia and Western Europe. The second one is given by the Indian Planning Commission. They have defined it as one which is characterized by the coexistence in greater or less degrees of unutilized and underutilized manpower on the one hand and of unexploited natural resources on the other. Now, from this definition, we arrive at a conclusion that the causes for underdevelopment, according to the first definition, is low per capita income, and according to Indian Planning Commission, existence of idle resources. Now, what are the reasons for existence of idle resources? One is low capital formation, and second one is lack of skill and technology. Next, we look at the criteria of underdevelopment. There are four criteria. One is ratio of population to land in the country, and second one is ratio of industrial output to total output. Third one is low ratio of capital to per head of population, and finally low per capita income. Next, we move to economic development and economic growth. Though they look similar, there is subtle difference between them, which we can understand from their definition, from the meaning. What is economic development? It indicates a process of development in the economy whereby there will be development in agriculture, industry, trade, transport, etc. Economic growth. It is the end product of the long process of development. That means economic development is a process and economic growth is the phenomenon. Next, we'll move to characteristics of underdeveloped countries. The first characteristic is preponderance of agriculture. An underdeveloped country is exclusively a primary producing economy, which will depend on the production of agricultural material and minerals, and the industries will be mainly agro-based. Now, India is predominantly an agricultural country where more than 70% of the people are engaged in agriculture or in allied occupations. Second one is population pressure and unemployment. The size of the population in these countries is increasing at a faster rate than in advanced countries, allowing increase in population, excessive pressure on land, and poor industrial development have created unemployment problems which could not be solved successfully in spite of planning several decades. Third one is poor income and poor savings. Now, another important feature is underdevelopment is the low per capita income of the people and the consequent little or no savings in the economy. Fourth one is underutilization of resources. The natural resources of the underdeveloped economy are either unutilized or underutilized. Generally, the underdeveloped countries may not be deficient in natural resources, but these resources are poorly harnessed or improperly used. And the fifth one is capital deficiency. Capital occupies a strategic role in production and economic development of a nation. So, the basic defect of the backward economies would be lack of inducement to invest and the low propensity and capacity to save. And sixth point, low level of technology. In backward economies, there will be a terrible dearth of skilled personnel, and as such, the methods of production will be carried on under primitive methods. Consequently, the productivity either in agriculture or in industries will be very low. Seventh one is foreign trade orientation. Most of the underdeveloped countries depend upon the export of a few traditional commodities. Consequently, we are exporting mostly raw materials and minerals. So they will be importing consumer goods and machinery. So the ratio of export production to total output will be normally high. And the eighth one is poor economic organization. Well developed economic institutions are vital factors for economic development. So, in backward economies, the economic institution would be either ill developed or completely absent. And the ninth point is lack of suitable socio-economic setup. In underdeveloped countries, the prevailing socio-economic setup would be the greatest impediment to development. So we have the problem like mass poverty, illiteracy, combined with caste system, religious beliefs, etc., which would adversely affect the course of economic development. And the final point is dualistic economy. What do you mean by dualism? Dualism means there will be market economy on one side where marketing system would have developed exceedingly well, catering to the needs of rich. On the other hand, there will be subsistence economy with agriculture oriented activities in rural areas which will be very backward. So this is also one of the important features of all the underdeveloped economies in the process of development. So let's have a recap. First, initially we have discussed about underdevelopment, then causes for, then we discussed the two important definitions, then economic development and economic growth, and we looked upon the criteria of underdevelopment, and finally we had discussed with characteristics of underdeveloped countries. That's all for this session. We'll meet very shortly in the next session. Thank you.